Hey guys, welcome back to Let's Play Final Fantasy VI. Last time we made our way up Mount Koltz and were seemingly shadowed by someone who was almost entirely in shadows. Surprisingly enough, it was not the character Shadow who we talked to in South Figaro before that. I know I'm confusing everybody. Anyway, we've made it up here, and this is our character setup. I've moved Locke into the front row. We've got you set up as before, everyone else is set up as before. Hyperwrist and Atlas Armlet change your strategy here a little bit, but not much. Yeah, running shoes is good on you. Yeah, we're pretty much all good to go. Hello. Mash's henchman, huh? Yeah, the fan translation and hell, the original script calls for the name Mash. It's still strange to me, but anyway. What? Oh, hello. Yeah, who are you? Where's Sabin? Brilliant! I love that line because it's just like, it reminds me of an old commercial. Or maybe it was like a sketch in a comedy show or something like that. Or maybe it's that, I think someone else did that in like a Let's Play I watched or something like that, where they put the clip in there. And it was like, now I just associate them together. But anyway, yeah, he was shadowing us earlier. It was, if you know the character now and you look back, the sprite is the same, or at least the same shape. Yeah, it was unfortunate. We ran into him. Now we're gonna die. You cannot target Vargas at this point. We have to deal with Pooh Bear. Is this gonna turn into a Mario race? No. Basically, keep Terra on standby if you feel like you need to heal or cast fire. Now, the boss himself is actually... tools, auto crossbow. The boss himself is actually weak to poison, but with both the Hyper Wrist and the... steal from you real quick here, and have Terra on standby now for healing. He has a rare Mithril Claw steal, but we don't need it. Yeah, so he's weak to poison, so Bioblaster is Poison Elemental, could be valuable here. But with both Hyper Wrist and Atlas Armlet, auto crossbow does more damage anyway. So we did that. We've got Locke in the front row, so we can now get in some shots, and fire, and another auto crossbow, another attack, and we pretty much got the whole path pretty much down at this point. Not much else we can do here. Off with you now. Now, there's a downside to Wonder Bar not properly working in fights, and that early on in the game there's a lot more dialogue in battle that I would like to kind of comment on. Vargas here has, like, he says a bunch of really cool things, and the Google translation for some of it is absolutely ridiculous. I was looking at the website where I got Wonder Bar from, just trying to see if there was anything interesting about the fights, because I can't actually show them for some reason. It's not working. I don't know why. But yeah, and some of them are just really, really cool, and some of them are really, really stupid, and unfortunately I don't get to show them off. But anyway, we have Sabin with us. Why'd you do it? How could you do your own fatherland like that? Yeah, so we'd heard that something had happened to Master Duncan, and, well, it looks like his own son took him out. Made this mistake of choosing you as his successor. He snubbed me. His only son. You were the one he chose. And this is kind of all we get. I'm not exactly sure how the scene plays out in full in any of the other versions, but considering what I mentioned in the previous episode about Vargas Duncan being concerned that Vargas wasn't making any progress, not that Vargas resented being a martial artist, it kind of makes sense that, you know, some of kind of, I think, Vargas's feelings of inadequacy here. Your fine spirit. Enough of your lies. Is that like Ondor's lies? No, this game is much better than double its number. Superior technique, mortal attack, blizzard fist. Now, I did specifically read this because this was interesting. Mortal attack is a kind of a strange translation, but there's a Japanese word that I didn't write down that basically is like kind of you're puffing yourself up and ready to, you know, use a big move. So it's not like got a direct translation, but it's just more of something you use before you set up for your big move. In Star Ocean Second Story, it was what the same word translated into killer moves in that game. If you're kind of wondering the range of how it's been translated. The master taught you well. That's probably another Star Wars reference. Or at least there's so much in this game that can be a Star Wars reference. I love it. It's so good. Fate made us train together. Fate will send you to your doom. Alright, we have Sabin to control. We can use his normal attack, which is pitiful, and he's going to use Doomfist, which puts Condemned on us. I'm tired of this. Now, Blitz is an interesting situation. I'm just going to pause for a quick sec here. Blitz is, as you can see, it targets Sabin himself. What it is it's a fighting game simulator built into the game. So you select Blitz, you enter in a combination of button presses, and you get different results depending on which combinations you use. So if I press the button and I do a specific combo, I will get a specific result. Now, since the game hasn't explained how this works yet, nothing that we do is really going to accomplish much of anything. There's no going back. So there's basically not a whole lot that we can do here. Depending, I'll go over how some of these combinations work later. This is the one that I end up using a lot of the time for single targeting, just because it's actually really good. Time to put an end to this. Must use a blitz technique. Choose blitz, press the control pad left, right, left, then press the A button. I'm going over this dialogue quickly because it's pretty apparent how to use it after they kind of explain it, but anyway, if you make a mistake, nothing will happen, but you're not stuck on time. Left, right, left. So on our next turn, if you look into the stat sheet, I think Vargas has like 10,000 HP or something stupid like that. The game is programmed to come to its conclusion as soon as you inflict the blitz technique that they want you to use here. He already taught you that. Well, it's the first move, so I should hope so. And he's gone. 10,000 HP gone to one move that does about 200 damage. Okay then. Now, if you remember a couple episodes back, this guy kinda looks familiar. The brothers are reunited. I kind of like the SNES translation better than the Game Boy Advance translation here. It's got more spirit. This translation, oh boy. Younger brother? First glance I thought it was some bodybuilder who had strayed from his gym. Now, this makes absolutely no sense other than just being kind of a funny line. But it makes less sense as the dialogue goes on. So take a look at the Game Boy Advance one there. First, I thought you were one of Vargas's bears. This will make more sense in a moment. Bodybuilder? He seems happy about that. I'll take that as a compliment. Yeah, What are you doing here? We're on our way to the Sabin Mountains. They're the Saber Mountains, I think, in the other translations. It's just, yeah, saber's, I think, another French word for sword or blade or something like that. But it's the Returner's hideout, no doubt. Yeah, that's where we're heading. And watching from afar, hoping the world might regain some sanity. Sabin, you and I are both still waiting for that, bud. At this rate, Figaro will be reduced to a puppet state. It's a nice kind of phrase that he has there. If you look over here at the Game Boy Advance here, watching from a distance, hoping it will come to its senses. The way things were going, I was afraid Figaro... Okay, you did the puppet state too. What was the other translation? I think I was reading something about this line, and it was talking about the fan translation translating dog, because it saw the word dog and wasn't quite familiar with like an idiom or something like that, and so it completely translated things wrong. As you can see, Figaro's barely keeping the Imperial dogs away, as opposed to you know, basically what the other translations are trying to get across. But anyway, it was fun. Our time to strike back has arrived. Empire's gonna go pay for what it's done. Now, this is where the SNES translation makes no sense, because we didn't use bear earlier when we had different bits of dialogue with Sabin when he thought he was called the bodybuilder. Terra was actually saying that he was like one of Vargas's bears. So now the bear line makes sense knowing that, but otherwise this whole bear line comes out of absolute nowhere and makes no sense. But yeah. You join us? Awesome! Oh, having a conversation again. Think Duncan would rest easier if he knew his disciple played a part in bringing peace to the world. Let's get going! And Sabin! Try that again. Sabin cannot equip the heavy shield. I think I had this backwards before. Can't equip the heavy shield, but he can equip the mithril shield. There we go. Must have had it backwards before. Yeah, the mithril claw would have been slightly better for him. That I said that you could steal from the boss as well as from one of the other enemies before as well. Thing is, it doesn't matter. You want to know why it doesn't matter? Skills. Sabin. Blitzes. His blitzes are independent of his battle power. So we're going to put him, well, leave him in the back row, just like we would with everyone else, basically, because who needs to do normal attacks, especially when another character has a free skill that costs no MP that does more damage than his normal attack. Okay, we have Pummel. Pummel is his basic one. For some reason, they don't have titles or labels of what the name of it is in the menu in the SNES version. They changed that, I think, in the PlayStation version and all subsequent versions of the game. But this is Pummel. It's the one we used. It's the first one. It ignores defense. It's pretty basic. There's not a whole lot to it. Now, Mystical Purity slams the enemy. Interestingly enough, this is physically based. It's a physical attack and works off of his, not his battle power, but his level and his vigor and whatever the damage calculation is. But either way, it's a physically based attack. This one puts the drop on an enemy. No, this is called suplex or suplex, or I think one of the announcers way back before I even started watching wrestling called it a souffle. Someone tried to bring that back a while ago. I never cared for that interpretation of that word, but yeah, this one's also physically based. Interestingly enough, this one was coded wrong. Congratulations, Final Fantasy VI, another glitch. And it suffers from split damage, meaning it does less damage if there are more enemies on the field. considering that, it would make sense for it to actually hit multiple. It doesn't. It hits one enemy. So it's only worthwhile using suplex in a fight where you're one-on-one with an enemy. And this move has exactly one use in this game. You all know what it is, and we're going to do it. Absolutely, we're going to do it. And that's basically the only purpose of that. This one, Mystical Purity, this is what I showed off. This is Aurabolt. This is, without a doubt, his best one that we have right now. And it's based on his magic stat. A big muscle-bound guy called a bodybuilder or a bear with far more vigor than he has magical power does a lot better with his magic stat. Just like almost everybody else in this video game. So, yeah, this one is kind of interesting in a couple different ways. It's holy based, and it's based off his magic stat, so he's going to do a lot of damage with it if we build up his magic. Now, in order to activate it, it shows you there of going down on an angle, and, down, kind of down to the right and then to the right. I don't know why it's showing that in a weird, it's quarter circle back. I'm so used to talking about it in different terms, but it's down to the left and then left. If you have trouble making your controller do those specific things, or if you're playing on a keyboard for some reason, you can go down, left and press the A button to finish it, and that'll work too. And this can be applied to pretty much any situation where we have kind of a circular pattern to any of his blitzes, which pretty much all of his useful ones are like that. So basically anytime it's one direction and then in between directions and then a subsequent direction, in this case, down to left and then left, you can go down and then left. So if that circle had continued, we could go down, left, up, right, down, left, and then hit circle. That will tell you something interesting about the end of the game, but yeah, it's an easier way of dealing with it if you have trouble rolling your thumb around the D-pad. Here we get the fourth and final item in this area, which is a tent. I guess I can give you the star pendant. Yeah, that's about it. That's all you need for now. Alright, we spent a lot of time going over that. But anyway, here we have Sabin. Let's see if we can... Did I do that right? No, I did that wrong. So that's what happens if you do blitz incorrectly. I always forget the suplex code. It's like YX... up, down, up. I can never remember what it is, even though I just looked at it. But let's look at it again, so I'll try and show it off. X, Y, down, up. We'll try it in the next fight. Alright. Alright, well, we might as well show it. I think one of those guys might be new. Alright, X, Y, down, up. So this is going to suffer from split damage because there's so many guys on the screen. So even though it should be really powerful, it's only so powerful. Especially considering we've seen some of his other abilities do more against the boss. Suplex would have done more against the boss too, but Aurabolt will be much better most of the time. Alright, we've made it out. And found more of the same enemies that we found before. We can try and get a new item for you. Alright. Show what Aurabolt will do against some of these random dudes here. As you can see, much more powerful than Suplex because it doesn't have his damage reduced. There, it gained a level. Nice. Alright, now we've made it up here. We're gonna go in here, but we're not gonna start the big line. We've made it to the returner's hideout. King Edgar, this way. There's a lot that can be done with this scene, and I don't want to drag out all of my episodes to be super long, but I do want to play around here. Here we get a green cherry or a yellow cherry. Not even the Empire think of looking for us in a cave somewhere. This guy sells sprint shoes if for some reason you don't have any. We're gonna probably buy an extra pair of those a little bit later, but we don't need it right now. For some reason, eye drop is first. Isn't tonic usually first on all of these lists? Meh. This guy gives us a free nap. So let's take a free nap. Now, I got distracted here and forgot to look at my notes. I was supposed to do something that I didn't do. And now, as you can see... Oh, he's going to just take me there. Okay, well, basically what I'm going to do is I am going to hopefully be able to rewind long enough to get back into the dungeon and show you something. Alright, I just used the rewind feature on my emulator to get back here because I did want to show something. If you just walk back here, it wouldn't work. But the entire reason why I specifically went to get that warp stone is now that we've put Vargas down, wonder what Duncan's widow's going to say about everything. And I'm going to warp completely out, come all the way back here to town, and yes, I'm going to have to go all the way back through the area. I'll probably run from all the enemies. So one interesting thing about a lot of the older Final Fantasy games is because of how common the battles are, you spend a lot of time actually fighting battles. If you don't have to fight battles, the dungeons are really, really short, and you don't spend a lot of time in them at all. There's one other thing I wanted to show off that I didn't. I'm trying to remember where it is. Alright, it connects to here, so we can do this. So let's go this way. Oh, which bloody house is it? I don't think it's... Yeah, it's not in there. Which... It's in the back of one of these... Get out of the way! Why do they move in the way like that? I'm gonna run around in circles because I can't remember where this guy is, and I forgot to talk to him. Please go up the stairs. Alright, so here's the inn. That's not it. That's not it. Shadow's gone. Oh, it's down here. I forgot to do this. That's why. I forgot one of these areas to explore last time I was here. I wanted to do this as well. If you talk to this guy... Out of the way. Gotta deliver cider to the old man. That's your job. Scram. Interesting. So we're going to follow him just because it gives you kind of a little bit of background. I can't remember if he goes out the top side or the bottom side. Let's find out. Okay, so we chose the right one. On top of that... Oh, no, there we go. I thought he was going to use the secret entrance, but he doesn't. He doesn't have sprint shoes, so it takes him a little while to get over there. Showing... Even NPCs get in the way of other NPCs. It's terrible. Why? Alright. I'm off work. Get lost. So the interesting thing here is we just kind of saw this whole process. Wonder if that'll be useful later. But yeah, now he's just going to head back. I don't think there's any other reason to talk to him. So anyway, let's go over here and talk to Duncan's widow. Yeah. what happened to everyone? Now, if you look over at the Game Boy Advance translation, his meaning gets kind of explained a little better. Turned on our master. Never understand Vargas. It's most secret techniques to you. Interesting. So even though Sabin was talking before about, you know, Vargas being chosen to succeed Duncan in the dojo, based on what I get from this is he might have been flubbing a little bit. For 10 years, you've treated me like a son. Eternally grateful. And yes, I got a warp stone. Won't be able to show you the Phoenix down it turns into, not that that matters. And went all the way back here so that I have to run all the way back through that cave just to show you that. That's it. Okay, we've made it back. So we're going to grab that cherry again and grab a... Oh yeah, I wanted to rest with you. The other guy does not do sleepy. So yeah, I love having that rewind feature on the emulator, just in case I screw something up because I'm not paying attention, instead of having to re-record a whole bunch of stuff or make 27 save states per episode. I can just go, oh, rewind a little bit, and I can do what I meant to do before. Alright. So, go up here. We have a Phoenix down. Nothing else there. They won't let us up here yet, even though that's basically where the treasure trove of this area is. We actually can't go up there quite yet. Now, they want us to go up here and talk to Bannon. We're going to pop up here. I don't think the scene... Come on. I don't think the scene triggers automatically, no. But that's who we're supposed to talk to. But that's pretty much all the time we have for today. I know we didn't accomplish a whole lot this episode. Basically, I've got a lot of information that I'd like to get across with this series, and I've taken a lot of notes, so I want to try and get across all that information. So basically, even though the episodes are long, we're not accomplishing a lot, you know, for two reasons. One, all that information, and two, because I haven't seen all of the translation stuff before, and I'm reacting to a lot of it. It's like I've looked into like bits and pieces, but I don't know what happens in every single line. So I'd like to just kind of be able to react a little bit to that and spend a little extra time reading some of the dialogue and talking about it and such. So even though the episodes aren't short, we're not getting all that far. Eventually this will start to level out a little more as we stop going through like the plot heavy first half of the game. The second half of the game is much more kind of dungeon focused, you know, go places and get stuff done. The first half is where the large majority of the plot actually takes place. So anyway, that's pretty much all for this one, and I'll see you guys next time.